Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make this lemon, and I'll make one on a Monstertail configuration and one on the loom side by side, and I'll do one with the leaf and one without. For the one without the leaf, you'll need about 51 rubber bands, give or take, and with the leaf you'll need 16 plus the stem, however long you want that. So we'll start with the stem, and if you don't want to do the stem, you can fast forward, taking a single band, twist, and double it, and we'll start in the center of our loom, single, twist, double, coming down twice, we'll come down one more, single, twist, double, 3 times, and we'll come to the side, single, twist, double, coming diagonally for both sides, and coming down twice on the sides. Again, I'm only making one leaf. If you want to make another one, pause the video and repeat this same process. Come diagonally to the center after the second side bands, and finishing off the center, we're taking a single and doubling it. Push it down, so that's what one of your leaf should look like right now. Taking a single band, we'll use it as a holding band, doubling it, and creating our triangle. I'm taking a single band, we're capping it, I'm just going to put it on my hook. I'm looping it 4 times and then pulling it right onto my last peg. Go under the cap band, grabbing the top 2 loops, which should go to the center, and pulling it up and onto itself. Through the side, same thing, go under the cap band, grabbing the next top 2, and looping it to the side. You should see nice teardrops. And let's loop up the sides. To the center. Repeat for the other one. Pulling back the holding band, grabbing the bottom 2 loops, creating nice teardrops, and looping it up and onto the center. Now let's finish up the center and looping it all the way to the first peg where we started. Taking our leaf off our loom. And let's just keep it on a hook to add to our stem. So there's our leaf. Let's do our stem. Same thing, we're taking a single band, twist, double. You can make it as long as you want. And I'm coming down 5 times with a single band, twist, and doubling it onto itself. Once again, capping it off by looping it 4 times. 2, 3, 4. Capping the end peg. And now let's attach our leaf, and you can attach it anywhere on your loom. I'm going to attach it on the 3rd peg from the top. Getting it off my hook, straighten off my leaf. If you have a second leaf, attach it anywhere on your loom. Now go under the cap band, grabbing the bottom 2, and just looping it up, creating teardrops as you go. Remember to always grab the bottom 2 bands. and tying it off with a slip knot band. So my leaf is off the loom. If you have a second leaf, that's okay too. And if you're making the lemon with the leaf, let's take your leaf, put your hook through the cap band side. There should be 4 loops. And getting 2 bands. And right now pull it through and getting it on your hook like that. And I'll do this one on the Monstertail side. So getting our loops onto one peg, twist in the center and stretching it across. And we'll start with 6 pegs. And let's continue. So taking our next 2 bands, putting our hook through the cap bands and pulling those loops through, attaching it onto our loom. And one more time, taking our 2 bands, putting our hook through the cap bands and pulling the loops through and attaching it to our loom. We've covered 6 pegs on our Monstertail side, and now let's do the same on the loom side, taking 2 single bands, covering 6 pegs, stretching it out, cross in the center, and looping it to the other side. Repeat. For a total of 6 bands. So there's row number 1 for both. Row number 2, we're taking a single band for both and covering the 6 pegs and looping the bottom 2 bands up and over. Go under, grabbing the bottom 2 bands and looping it up and over to the center. Push it down when you're done. That was row number 2. Row number 3, we're going to expand to 8 pegs. First, we're going to take the center 2 loops on the loom and pulling it across to the 4th center peg. Now taking a single band off of the side 2nd peg that's attached to the 1st and stretching it out to the 3rd side pegs. So go in your side peg, grabbing a single loop, and I see it's attached to the 1st side peg, and I'm pulling it to the 3rd side peg. And now these 2 have 1 loops each. Repeat on the other side. Same thing, taking a loop off, and I see it's attached to the center 4th. We don't want that one. Set it aside, grabbing the last loop. It's attached to the 1st side peg and stretching it to the 3rd side peg, and then reattaching the loop we took off prior. So now we've covered 8 pegs, and for rows 3 through 6 we're doing a single band covering 8 pegs and looping the bottom bands up and over, leaving 2 loops per peg. I'm going to repeat this expansion for the Monstertail, taking these 2 loops off of the side 3rd peg and moving it across to the center peg. Now moving a single loop, the same as our loom configuration. We're just taking a single band off of the side second that's attached to the side first and moving that to the third side peg. Go in, check to make sure it's attached to the first and moving it to the third. Repeat for the other side. Get a loop off and I see it's attached to the first side peg and moving that to the third. So now we've covered 8 pegs, and like on the loom, we're going to take a single band covering the 8 pegs, looping the bottom bands up and over, leaving 2 loops per peg for rows 3 through 6. I'm going to fast forward because it's repetitive. And because we expanded the side second and third peg, each have a single loop. So this is my last row for both configurations, row number 6. Now row number 7, we're going to reduce back to 6 pegs, and I'll start on the loom side, taking a single band off of the center side peg that's attached to the side third peg and moving it to the first side peg. So getting a loop off, make sure it's attached to the third side peg, and that's not the case, so I'm getting the second loop and moving it to the first side peg, and that one is attached to the third. Now reattaching the first loop we took off. So the first peg has 3 loops, and we're moving these 2 onto the second side peg from the third side peg. So now these 2 has 3 loops, and repeat on the other side, getting a loop off of this center second peg, make sure it's attached to the third, and that is, and moving it to the side first, and then pulling the 2 bands off of the side third to attach it to the second center peg. And now these 2 has 3 loops on them. Now moving the final 2 loops off of the center fourth and attaching it to the center third peg. Now we're back to 6 pegs on the loom configuration, and now the Monstertail, same thing. We're going to reduce it to 6 pegs, taking the side second, making sure it's attached to the third, and that this one is not, so I'm holding it, grabbing the other loop, and it's attached to the third, and moving it to the first side peg, and then reattaching the one I was holding, and now moving the 2 loops off of the side third and attaching it to the second side peg. Now these 2 bands, now these 2 pegs have 3 loops on them. Repeat on the other side. Same process. This band is not attached to the third, so I'm going to hold it, grabbing the other loop. It's attached to the third, moving it to the first, and then reattaching the one I was holding, and moving these two off of the third and onto the side second. So now these two have 3 loops and these have 3. And now we're back to 6 pegs on the Monstertail, and we can leave that on there if we want to, or you can move it back to the side third peg. It's up to you. And now taking our last 6 bands, covering the 6 pegs and looping the bottom bands up and over, leaving only 2 loops left per peg for both configurations. So row number 7 is done. We have 2 loops left on each peg for both configuration. And if you have a cotton ball, go ahead and stuff it on your Monstertail side. For your lemon and for your loom, we'll have to take it off. So going clockwise around your loom, getting the loops onto your hook, and pulling it, each of those right onto your hook, and getting the 2 loops onto our hook. And we'll stuff our cotton ball inside our lemon. Now taking a single band and pulling all the loops onto the single and tying a slip knot. And for the Monstertail, you can take the loops off of each peg, go clockwise like we did on the loom, and then tying it off like I'm doing here in a slip knot. And tuck in your charm string or your slip knot band, and then kind of manipulate your lemon so it's in a lemon shape. So there's your lemon, and I'm going to take it off the Monstertail. If you haven't, same process, getting the loops onto your hook, going around clockwise around your loom, and getting them on to your hook, taking a single band and getting the loops onto our single band, and then tying it off in a slip knot. And tuck in your slip knot band and manipulate your lemon to the shape that you want. And there's your leaf, and you can tuck in this charm string or the slip knot band if you want down the stem into the leaf. So there are your 3D lemons. I hope you like them. Thanks for watching.